Hey, how we doing?
Hello, everybody. Got it in one shot this time. Awesome. Good
I'm
start. Good start.
slowly learning.
Good start.
Uh,
It's cold. It's
yeah.
Thursday. We got lots of books to do. We got always every week we got a lot of stuff to cover and that. So let's kind of just jump right into it.
Yeah, so let's jump straight into things. We got a lot to cover. I know a lot of people were asking about DreamWalker. We've been
Yes.
sort of promoting it here and there the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
But now we have a lot more solid information for you guys.
Yeah.
So let's get straight into that because I know a lot of people are waiting.
You want me to handle that?
Yeah.
All right. So as you see on the screen there are 3 covers. Originally, we had just the one cover for sale, which is the cover at the bottom right. That is the regular, we'll just call that the regular cover A, for $14. Well, they've changed it a little bit now, so they've added an extra option. Now they have a cover B, and that cover B is the one at the top of the triangle, and that is a Natalie Sanders homage cover. Homage to the first appearance of Swamp Thing, which I believe is Tales of Suspense 92, or not Tales of Suspense,
Not Tales.
whatever, 92.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
House.
Doesn't matter. So, but it's a beautiful.
Everyone knows the cover.
But it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful picture, and that is they have a 1 in 50 for that too, which is very expensive and nobody will have it. So they decided to put out the B cover that with trade desk. So that cover is now available as well, and that is $14 as well. So you can get A's and B's for $14. And then we have just a limited amount of those because out of those A's and B's, it's still 1,000 print run. So it's only 500 of each. And also now, the one on the bottom left is the what they're calling their retail incentive one now, and that is the Virgin cover from the cover artist Flores Noel, I believe is his name from the top of my head. He's a great Filipino artist, and those are. We have one for sale there, and those are, I'm not even going to say the price yet because the one person this morning actually reached out to us right away after seeing the post, and he's interested in it, so we're going to go back to him in that. But yeah, so what I'm mainly saying for everybody else there, because that one's taken, is we have not just cover A now, but cover B, and we will keep those open to our Nat Daddy collectibles page people, so everybody watching here, up until Sunday. And on Sunday they will go for sale on the website. And like I said, these are very limited. We've already sold a few of cover A, so people who've bought cover A, if you want to come back and buy cover B, because it's just freaking awesome, I do recommend it. This book will be hot and fast and gone.
Well, yeah, and the fact that it's a Natalie Saunders variant, you don't get those for...
Not just for nothing.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
So the fact that one's only going for 14, that one surprised me.
Yeah. Like I said, that one's supposed to be a 1 in 50, but unfortunately, that 1 in 50, we're not selling it because we don't know if it'll come damaged, and also because, well, we kind of want it. So we might sell it at some point or draw, but for now, we're going to keep it. But yeah, so that was awesome. So if anybody who is interested in that book, it's an awesome new horror book. On the Second Skin Comics page, they do have a preview for it. And they've started to get the ball rolling for issue 2, which should be pretty soon. What? What? Well, I'm trying not to say things like that.
It's noticeable.
But, all right. So yeah, it's awesome. Please buy them fast because, like I said, very, very limited. We're only one of five retailers selling it.
And we're probably the only one in Canada.
I believe we are the only one in Canada.
Cool. So yeah, any questions about that?
Just
comment in the comments here. Reach out to us.
Anywhere, yeah.
Anywhere, yeah. We're pretty accessible.
$14 each.
So, our first book of the night.
But before that, we should thank everybody who are regular community people. So we'd like to thank the Tags group, the Big Country group, the 204 Comics group, because those are all our guys that we rely on and we all work together with. And I like to help out and support everybody, so it's a good community. All right, now we can go on.
Okay.
Was that better? It was less ahs and ums.
Yeah, I could tell you were reading off a script somewhere.
I wasn't. It's in my brain. Okay.
So, first book we got up tonight is Savage Spider-Man #1. And I didn't really look at too much at this book before because I thought it was just a new Spider-Man title and I thought it was a what if story. And it kind of is.
But it's not a new title. I
But
mean,
it's not.
It's that Web of Spider-Man series just continuing.
It's non-stop
Oh,
Spider-Man.
sorry, non-stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking that
And
Web of.
I hadn't continued that series for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, starting off in this, they give you the little summary blurb.
Yep.
You know, there was some drug or something that was out, or some medical something.
Yeah.
And Peter Parker took it, and for some reason it reacted weird with his spider-human DNA combo, and he's literally just turned into a spider.
Yeah, that happened like back in the Morbius original comic book days. He became the Man Spider.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's when he was trying to cure himself. So yeah,
So
it's all right.
It's
read this one.
interesting. I wouldn't say it's a super necessary read. I thought it was going to be a what if story where he was going to slowly be transitioning into sort of like they had with the what if he had kept a black suit
Yeah,
there,
that
or
Dark
Shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I thought this was going to be, and I mean that's on me for not reading the synopsis originally.
I just think it's
some
just
neat
plain
artwork.
Awesome artwork. It's just plain old silly dumb Spider-Man fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same thing that non-stop Spider-Man is. A lot of action, right?
Well, it even says that non-stop Spider-Man, it crosses out.
I know. I
never
never looked at it close enough.
Yeah, I don't know how nobody ever noticed that.
Yeah.
Hello, Darsar.
Lots of stuff from Marvel this week. Marvel
Yeah.
had a busy week.
We had a lot of Marvel stuff.
DC, they only had maybe 10 books this week. Not a lot.
Yeah, nothing too special.
So, next up, Amazing Spider-Man #88.
I enjoyed this. I like this
Yeah.
new character.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. One thing I want to talk about.
I mainly liked it because it's not a symbiote character, even though it's close
it's-
number
it's-
2 being a Goblin character. But
Yeah, that was one thing I had originally thought was, okay, well, we
Me
just
too.
finished with Kindred, who was an Osborn, and now we're getting another Goblin. And...
we had the Goblin War too, didn't we? Wasn't that beforehand, Goblin War?
No, that was Sinister War.
No, but wasn't there a Goblin War like not too long ago too, like within a year or two before?
I don't know.
Because that's
I don't remember.
Okay.
No, but what I want to talk about is books that sell out on spec.
Mm-hmm.
This book, it released yesterday, and
It was sold out beforehand.
yeah, places were selling one per customer or whatever,
Mhm.
and even before Wednesday, it was up for sale online, $40 plus already.
Yep.
Didn't even know if this character was showing up in it. It's just a cover appearance for all people knew, right? Could have been a cameo at the end. They had no idea.
All the key apps were saying for sure it was a guaranteed show, like a guaranteed first appearance.
But still, it's just a.
But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Unless you had this book on your FOC or on your pull list, which quite a few people have Amazing Spider-Man. That's a pretty standard pull.
This new run.
If you don't have it on your pull list, you might not even have gotten this book at all.
It's like that, not the Hulk book, that Black Panther book last week, and then the week before that, or maybe it's the same week, the Thor books. And you're right. Like I saw today.
It'll probably get second print or maybe even a third print.
Well, who knows? Paper shortage, you'll definitely get second.
And even in that case too, it'll be.
But it's like
swept up instantly.
It's like in the Venom run a year or two ago where they had all those new villains and stuff coming. So who knows if it'll stick around, like price wise and that. At this elevated rate, a lot of people, like I said, buying it just because they want to get it and then drop it.
Yeah.
But I saw today that Black Panther #3 that came out last week or whatever, or 2 weeks ago, the 1 in 25 is going for $450 raw, and it's a nice cover in that. But again, people are just specking on all these new characters. Although it is a neat character, like these new people they discovered, they live in Wakanda and they don't use vibranium as like in technology. They infuse it into their skin.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool, and it gives them superpowers.
Yeah,
but again, not enough to pay for $450 for a book you have no idea about this character.
No, but then you look back a couple years, maybe not a couple, maybe 1 year, 2 years at the most, with
well, don't say like Punchline or that,
yes.
Or it was no way there was $450 on opening day.
And then there was the Robin King.
Yeah, and again,
him and riding the dinosaur.
Yeah,
that's another instance.
And we looked at that, and it went up to $350, and we debated that forever and got it super cheap in the end, like a year later.
Not even a year later.
Oh,
two
yeah.
months, maybe.
No, it was
No,
right
but
now.
2 months later, that book had come down by half.
Oh, I know that. That's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm afraid this. I'm not
Hell,
afraid, but this
Hell
will
Arisen. That was the
punchline.
punchline one.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So even if you are reading it, and I did read it, it was a good story because I'm not reading the ASM run right now because
mhm.
there's other stuff I read, and I do like Spider-Man, and this is all the Ben Reilly stuff. Yeah, it was all right. I enjoyed it.
yeah, that's about all there is to say. Like, I don't have too much to say about the book.
It's not worth paying $40 on the secondary market for right now.
No,
No.
definitely not. Next up, I don't read a lot of Fantastic Four, so I don't know what this is. I know Nick Fury killed a Watcher at some point, and that's him in the background, correct?
Yeah, well, that's with that one whole not Civil War series, the Fear series. No, not the Fear series.
That was Batman.
No. I forget which series it was. Where yeah, the Watcher got killed, and yeah, Nick Fury became like a Watcher.
Yeah,
That's where he's been the last few years.
yeah.
So this is picking up for in the Fantastic Four series, which has been really good the last this run, because it's Dan Slott's doing it, and he might not have been a great Spider-Man writer. Oh no, that was Spencer. Slott was okay, but
Yeah, Dan Slott was doing
yeah,
earlier.
he was good. But he's killing it on Fantastic Four. He's really good at cosmic stuff. So what's going on in here, and it's a crossover event, and it has a bunch of people in it. You know, your normal heroes too, but a bunch of cosmic stuff. But it turns out the Watchers, kind of like in the way that the Guardians in the Green Lantern, the Noah guys,
Yep.
they're kind of like that originally, and they've had made like evil versions of stuff to do things and that. So it's all coming back, and it was called the First War. So now this war that's going to kind of end all things is happening. It's really neat. I enjoyed this book way more than I thought I would.
Huh.
I didn't think I was gonna like it at all. I was just gonna read it and think, oh, whatever. It's just like a lot of these other crossovers that we've had the last few years, but this one's actually really interesting.
I'm burnt out of crossovers. That's why I skipped over this one.
Yeah, and I'm happy that I did read it because it's gonna do a lot. Like it's gonna actually interact a lot of stuff going forward, and it ties together a lot of stuff that's been going on in the last few years that Dan Slott's wrote in other titles, like Silver Surfer stuff, and so it's I'm quite interested to see where this goes. But I mean, it could be just this one part. But there was a lot of stuff jammed in here because being the alpha title, they're trying
they
to
all spin off out of it.
Yeah, they're trying to make sure everybody knows what's going on because there was a lot to cover here.
Yeah,
because like She-Hulk and Jack of Hearts, like she just showed up in that first issue of She-Hulk, or Jack Hearts just showed up at the end of that first issue of She-Hulk there last week or so. Got something in my eye.
My only issue with a whole nother crossover again is we just had Sinister War end not too long ago. We just had Devil's Reign start up. And it just, all these crossovers make the world seem very small. Tons of characters don't I don't.
That Doctor Strange one, not
Oh, the Doctor's, Death of Doctor Strange just ended. And it just seems like the world's really small.
Yeah. Well, this one, it starts off like that, but again, it's more cosmic.
But you think back to when, all these heroes just did their own thing, and you get a crossover, and, years and years, like Secret War, original Secret Wars.
You can't compare nothing to Secret War.
No, but it wasn't a crossover they did ton. It just, all the heroes came together, and then they went back and started doing their own thing again.
It wasn't even a crossover, it's a miniseries.
But they crossed over.
No, crossover means it has to go through multiple titles.
Yes.
The first series didn't.
But you know what I'm saying.
Right.
They would do their thing, and it would be,
yes.
Even Civil War back in the mid-2000s.
Secret Wars 2 would have been a crossover because it had tie-ins.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my thing. It's just, everyone's always showing up everywhere all the time.
It's always
no one has their own thing anymore.
Or when it does, it's
Symbiote War.
It totally screws up. If somebody has a decent story going in their books, it gets screwed up because they have to weave this stuff in there and disrupt the flow. But yeah, this one I enjoyed.
And next is a book I didn't think we were going to cover. Not because I don't like X-Men or Sabretooth, but just one that seemed really odd. And then after looking into it, it actually sounded like a really interesting concept. Essentially, Sabretooth has been banished to the hellscape of underneath Krakoa.
It's kind of like in Star Wars, the Sarlacc pit.
Sarlacc.
Sarlacc pit. It's kind of like that. And this
No.
one, I didn't enjoy. I wasn't expecting it to enjoy it first, and then I read about it a little bit more too, and I thought, oh yeah, I forgot the X-Men. He got sentenced there by like the group heads in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's neat, and what happens is when he gets pulled down into hell there, or not hell, but into like this space underneath there, it is kind of like hell, but it's hell like in your brain type of thing. So he's being like, kind of sucked in there and wrapped up, kind of like a Matrix in a pod, or kind of like this Garlactic, where well, it just kind of wraps you around there and slowly digests you type of thing. But he's not being digested there. He's just like you're being like sleeping, like cybergenically frozen type of thing. But you're sleeping. Cryo, yeah. Well, it depends how I say it. It's like tomato or tomato.
Cybergenic?
No, I said cyber, whatever. So then, but when you're sleeping like that, it makes you relive stuff in your mind, like you're going through layers of hell. So it's like Inception. Inception, if you were like, when the bad things happen. So it's neat to see him go through all that stuff
like
there.
The Wolverine series that are going on.
Yeah,
right now.
when Wolverine went through hell.
Yeah.
Or like in Turtles recently, they had Shredder in hell. Same type of thing. It was people just going through their demons and that, and he has to try and escape this hell/jail.
Yeah, and it's interesting because personally, when I think of Sabretooth, I think of Wolverine. I don't think of him independently. And I think if there is Sabretooth, he was an X-Men, or there was a female one that was an X-Men or something for a while.
Well, he's been always associated with the X-Men. And this book is more like him, like in his wild feral state, because again, he's in hell.
Cool. Next up, I don't think you read this one.
No, I'm done with Star Wars.
You're done with Star Wars?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy him and stuff, but I'm done like following and collecting.
Okay, well, this one I wanted to take a look at over the other ones this week. There was High Republic, and I think there might have been Dr. Aphra or something.
I'm not sure.
There was something else as well. But I wanted to cover this one because I think this one represents a turning point for how Disney handles Star Wars as a property.
This is all brand new stuff, right?
Yes and no. So this book, for those that don't know,
is that really Chewbacca, or is that?
It's not Chewbacca. Okay. I'll explain. So the Halcyon is, I don't know if it's a ride or some kind of experience or a cruise or something that Disney has built, and this is meant to do like what their Galaxy's Edge comic did and provide a bit of backstory to it.
Oh, okay. Or like that Marvel, when the Avengers thing opened up.
Yes,
on that,
the web.
On that web issue. Yeah.
So
it's a promo time.
It is, but it's actually not bad.
Yeah, I know.
And instead of what Disney was trying to do with Galaxy's Edge, where it's only focus on the sequels, with Rey and Finn and all them, Kylo Ren, this one is in everything. It has stuff from the prequels. It has stuff from, like this guy here. His name's Burry, so Burry. Mm-hmm. It has stuff from High Republic, prequels, originals, and sequels. The current ongoing story is in the sequel series, the sequel trilogy, mm-hmm. and this robot is explaining to these people some of the history while they're being attacked by these pirates for some reason.
So is this an ongoing series, a limited series, a one-shot? Or?
It's not a one-shot, but I think it is a limited series.
Okay.
Yeah, and this one covered mainly High Republic, but then their little robot narrator alludes to there being other stuff. Because you do see just little flashbacks of Anakin fighting Asajj Ventress and whatnot. So it's an interesting story. Like I said, the bulk of this one is in the High Republic, but the story is being told from a present time of the sequels. So it's nice to see Disney is incorporating everything and trying to build everything. I think they learned from their mistake there. Because even if, like when we go and we're talking about the Boba Fett episode later, we're seeing a lot of that in the last couple episodes of Boba Fett, where they're merging all of that stuff and they're not ignoring it anymore.
Even I've been saying Boba Fett lately and not Boba Fett.
Yep. So that is the end of Marvel stuff. I didn't get a chance to read this one. I ran out of time.
You didn't miss anything.
No, really. So, okay, that's Monkey Prince from DC.
Yeah.
And this one's just a new limited series, correct?
Yeah, yes. The Monkey Prince was first showed up in forget what it was called, Asian Heroes or something like that.
It just
It was
recent.
it was a
Yeah.
one shot from them, kind of like Marvel has their voices, Marvel voices stuff with all
Yep.
the different nationalities. So and the Monkey Prince showed up there, and yeah, I didn't really read that or anything. I bought a couple of them, and
He was a pretty anticipated character.
he looked kind of neat. And being an Asian character, they're always
And
anticipated.
it's had some really good variants too.
Yeah,
The artwork was fantastic, like some
right.
traditional Chinese,
Nagan,
beautiful.
Nagan or whatever. Yeah, I always say his name wrong. We had one, and I
It makes
think
me think of like their tapestries they do. It was
yeah,
beautiful.
and they had the oh yeah that one red foil cover.
That one as well.
Yeah, and then there's one by Art Gem as well too, like cover B. That's really nice as well.
Hmm.
And again, the art inside is great. It's by Bernard Chang, and again, Bernard Chang's a great artist. But the story in here is very, is very very kind of formulaic. I felt like I was reading like Shang-Chi or Iron Fist. The origin of Iron Fist or Shang-Chi, but with a monkey theme to it when he hits those sacred dimension type of thing, and yeah, and it was I was just like, oh, I finished it just because I wanted to. I really enjoyed the art. I wanted to see if it got better, but it kind of didn't. So I'm sure younger people. It's kind of geared to younger people. I thought at first too, but then at the end of the story, Batman's in the beginning and Batman ends up in the end, and you don't know why. At the end, Batman or somebody, but I'm pretty sure it's Batman the way they look like, chops off the Monkey Prince's head, and like it's rolling around the ground, and he's still talking. So now I just want to know what's going on. So now I want to read the next issue to see what's going on. Why this kid who jumped through the water and talked with the pig creature there and came back. Now he's like a monkey creature.
That looks like
I don't care about
a character from Dragon Ball. His name is Boo, I believe.
I'm not sure. And then now he's come back, and I didn't even care. He came back as this monkey guy, and he's up, he flips all around and everything. But no, he had his head chopped off. I'm like, how is this creature alive now, or this guy alive? So that I just want to see that now.
So, do you think after seeing like success of Shang-Chi and how well it was received, do you think this is DC's response to that, trying to have a stronger, more like Asian-based character?
For sure, just like Marvel building up the Agents of Atlas there and that. And again, too, like maybe it's not a crappy character now because I want to see what happens now. But at first, in the beginning, again, felt very formulaic. We say that a lot of times. But again, this is, I believe, only a 3-issue series. And a 3-issue series is, again, only 3 books. So to waste this one whole book, not waste it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it was origin story. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, now you can, yeah. So I get it. I wouldn't have read it.
It disappoints me to hear stuff like that because I always advocate and I get into arguments with people that I think it's great that DC and Marvel make these bold moves to introduce new characters and stuff. Like the new Wonder Girl, who's a fantastic character.
That's getting canceled already.
But it's canceled. The final issue has come out. The other ones were already ready to go. I saw the covers.
Yeah, I was going to say, not even the final issue. They just stopped it.
Yeah, so it's kind of disappointing that this... And I haven't seen too many other reviews for it, but if this isn't being received well, but they canceled a series that was being received well, it just hadn't sold quite as well as they had initially hoped. It's a little disappointing.
They had that show that Wonder Girl. They had like a whole movie or shows and stuff planned. And they scrapped that instantly too. Like I don't know.
It didn't become their next Miles Morales, and I think that
nothing will.
I think that was their big bank on it. Now we've got our indies coming up, and our first one here is Man or Black from Dark Horse.
Yeah, I like this. It's not just Man or Black, it's Fire in the Blood. It's continuing on, like right here. It's like the next volume in their series. And I like this book a lot. It's...
Who's the writer?
It's Colin Bunn. Colin Bunn does the writing.
No surprise that you like it.
And Brian Hurt is the art. But I've liked this series from the beginning. I've told you about this series from... all 3 volumes now. So what's going on in this one is it's still continuing on where the powerful ancient sorcerer has taken this new younger girl under his wing, and she's very gifted. She's able to take like her powers into her totem wise, where nobody else has been able to do that before. And so she's like this new kind of like chosen person type of thing. But again, maybe it's just too powerful. Maybe it's going to destroy him in that. So it's going to keep building on that universe. And I really like this universe because it makes me, again, familiar, but different enough. It makes me think of the old Clive Barker Nightbreed stuff, where you have like this underground kind of cultish circus, traveling circus type of freaks and geeks and stuff that are
Mhm.
like powerful, magical and stuff. So
Yeah.
I kind of like that idea. So yeah, I'm more of that, especially of them like forming. It has a little bit more of the history. It has some flashbacks in that, like it did in the last volume. So I much like the what they're doing with like Black Hammer and a lot of these other
Mhm.
new universes that they're growing.
They're expanding their
Yeah,
worlds.
they're
Yeah.
really expanding them, and we have another book coming up on here later on, the Geiger book. Same thing too, a 80-page one-shot special where it's
Mhm.
again more just random stories, but these new characters that are no in that universe and
Yeah.
how they you don't even see how they match up yet. So it's neat. I like that.
Yeah, and I appreciate this so much. Well, we'll save that for when we get to it.
Yeah.
But I appreciate so many are doing those little one shots here and there. Don't need a whole story for it. Gets new people in. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about that when we get to it.
Yeah, and it feeds into the story too. But yeah, I enjoyed that Man of Black. I've enjoyed all those so far.
Next, we've got here from Image, New Masters.
This I
And
was hoping to enjoy, and
I
it
know nothing about this one.
is disappointing. It's from a team called Shobo and Shoff, and they're African team. And yeah, the art in it is amazing. Like that looks like the cover there, painted and
Hmm.
very
That
very
reminds me of how they were doing the Amazonian
yeah,
book,
Nubia.
Nubia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very very awesome, and not even just that painting, but other artwork in there too, from Image, and again they've been putting a lot of great stuff really. But this book, I read it through it to the end, but I just did not care for it at all. It was kind of boring, very 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 familiar. Where it's uh, I forget now. It's so familiar. I gotta look at my notes here. Oh yeah. Well, you have it's a little bit in the future, and they're in Africa, and there's this one like outcast kind of village, and they have this. They come across this forbidden alien technology, and now they're trying to have this like not war, but they're fighting with this aliens about the technology and that. So again, it sounds kind of interesting, but it was really not. It was boring, and you won't like it because
Is it a
there
new
was a ton of
ongoing series?
yeah, it's a new ongoing series,
Yeah.
and
I
it's
couldn't see if it was a limited or not.
I don't remember.
Image doesn't really do limited, I guess.
They might. I can't remember. I don't remember if it's limited or not. But it's just like you wouldn't like this because no matter how much art is there, there's a lot of small writing in there,
Hmm.
like kind of like
If
Animal
it's not a good, well, see, Animal Castle I can go through because I like the story.
Yeah, but this one doesn't have a good enough story to get you hooked or anything. It's just, I mean, the art is very nice, but yeah, it's just very disappointing because I had high hopes for this.
Makes me wonder if some books like this would have performed better as like actual novels, but the medium just isn't as widespread as it
Like a
would be in a
graphic novel?
comic. A graphic novel, or even just a novel in general.
Too much price point all at once.
Yeah.
People don't want to pay for it all at once. Although they if something does
But I'm
good,
just saying, like doing it as a novel, just straight out the gate.
oh, I don't know.
Like some books, like are just entire word walls, and the comic pages.
That's different.
Like
Yeah, it's different. It's just a different way of doing it. But this is a team. Like this is a team that works together. So
Mhm.
yeah, I did not care for this one too much. But I'll try the second issue. But because we always say you got to give it a try once.
yeah. Next up is Geiger.
Oh, that's that book I said.
Yeah, we've been covering lots of image stuff lately,
Mhm.
and they're ramping up for their 30-year anniversary, I guess.
Yeah, they
and
released
that
that
issue
book this
came
week.
today. It's I don't know if it's a whole chronology or
It's
if
like a
it's a
timeline.
part of it. I don't know if there's another issue coming or not.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm
But
not sure.
I flipped through it quickly, and it's neat to see all those covers compiled, and they even have stuff from before they were Image Comics, just when they were like starting out,
Yeah.
and what they had worked on.
Yeah, actually, I saw a picture the McFarlane was posting yesterday of their first meeting.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 30 years ago yesterday or something.
Yeah. So right off the gate here, you got this character up here.
Yeah.
Looking at it at a quick glance, totally thought it was Punchline.
Oh,
and I had to do a double take.
now that you say that, yeah, it does
Yeah.
look like Punch-On. I didn't notice that. But they're introducing all these new characters on there. And Geiger's been interesting so far as it is. Jeff
It's
Johns.
a newer series.
Yeah, it's about a year or so.
Yeah.
And it's doing well. The guy in the center is the main character. But this
Wicked
one,
looking.
yeah, he's awesome. He turns that on and off. Sometimes he's just regular.
Reminds
looking.
you of the Batman Beyond character. Was it Blight? I think his name is.
Yeah, he's like Blight a little bit. And then, but all these other people on the cover are being introduced, and they're going to be in that Geiger universe, but they're not all at the same time. Like that, some of them take place in earlier times. There's one guy there that's like an unknown soldier guy. There's another guy that's like a pirate, and like you said, there's that lady there that looks like the
Yeah.
um, Punchline.
Milky Way.
Yeah.
The Disco Queen.
Yeah, so it's really neat, and multiple artists, and because there's multiple stories and
The
multiple.
victims of Safari Bob.
Yeah, this is the guy that looks kind of is like this unknown war guy
Yeah,
that I
it's
want.
a
Yeah,
zombie looking.
yeah. So it's very interesting. Yeah, you don't have to know the Geiger, prehistory so far, but it would help. But it's neat to read all these different stories, new characters, because a lot of them are just brand new characters that they're introducing into the universe. They don't have a backstory yet. So yeah, this one I really enjoyed. And this one got pushed back like I would say 2 months at least. It's been pushed back
I
multiple
remember
times.
seeing it back in November, I think, or December.
It was supposed to come up before that Black Top Bill one that came out.
Image was doing restructuring.
Yeah.
When it comes to the paper shortage, and with this being a giant-sized book like this,
Yeah.
it could have been pushed back just in pushing other stuff out before that, prioritized.
Either way, I enjoyed this as well.
Next up, we've got from one of our favorites, if not our favorite, and that's Aftershock Comics.
They're
We've
my
got
favorite lately.
Dark Red. If I can get rid of the Image Comics. There we go. Dark Red from Aftershock.
This is one of their one-shots, so it's that one-shot size, that large one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's good on this book because you get a lot of awesome art, like the that woman on the cover there. She's like the main female bad vampire, and she's never dressed. She's always walking around like that. So again,
one thing we should mention, just a while before we started the show, maybe about half hour or so, Big Country Comics had a bundle for was it Mike Ruth's
Mike Ruth, yeah, the one that Mike Ruth had out for Aftershock Happy Hour today, and their Big Country's variant too from Carl Waller.
Yeah. Really good deal they had on the set there. It was $25 for the two of them for the pair. So really good deal on that.
No, I think it was $25 each.
No, it said the set was $25.
Oh, and then you could get $20 each. You could get signatures added to them. Yeah, so that's cool.
So that was a wicked deal there. So check that out if you're interested in Dark Red, because both amazing covers.
It's a great story too. Tim Seeley and Corin Hollow. Tim Seeley was on the Aftershock Happy Hour this afternoon. He had a good interview on there with Ruth Ann. Interesting stuff. Yeah, I like this. I like the original Dark Red run. It's I forget how many issues there was in it, 6, 8, 10, something. But I love that original run. And this is just the one shot kind of is in that universe too, but it doesn't necessarily pick right up after. Events that happen in the older stuff are still represented in here. But this is a story about Chip, and Chip is the dude running on the bottom, and he's a vampire, just kind of works at a quickie mart type of thing. He's a few hundred years old, if not older, and yeah, he's just living his life. He never ages, and then he always looks like he's 23. But in this book, he learns about somebody who he was close with in one of the wars, and he's going to be dying of old age or whatever. So he goes to see him, and we find out that the guy's soul was sold to the devil, and Chip's going to go into hell to try and save this guy's soul. And that evil lady that's on the cover there is down in hell as well, because that's where they kind of banished her at the end of the last volume. So he has to make deals and whatnot to help get this guy's soul back before he dies. And some of the deals aren't necessarily good ones that he wants to make, but does it out of what he needs to do to get done. So good read, very good read.
Yeah, and I'd heard some of that interview they had on the Happy Hour there, and it was interesting to hear, like he thought the inner monologue of the character is, and is like who he was, and how it differed from the vision of the artist, and they kind of conflict a bit there.
Yeah,
I thought there was a really interesting dynamic on how they discussed how one sees it this way, one sees it this way. And I thought that was really interesting because people don't talk about that very often.
Right.
They would say, "Oh yeah, it worked out well."
And the vampires, the vampires in here in the whole series are Nazis. Like they're all they're Nazis. So I mean, it's always nice to see Nazis getting killed. So.
Speaking of people getting killed, another Aftershock book, and probably my favorite Aftershock. Maybe Maniac in New York is pretty close.
This is my favorite Aftershock book of all time,
Um,
and this is my favorite book of the week because we told you guys all in issue 3 that there was some amazing ending there, and
Yeah,
then
but Brian Buccellato said that we would not be able to predict the ending for
Yeah,
this, and he was right.
yeah, and then this issue came along, and then the ending for this even blew that away. It was almost like
Mhm.
I said it on a comment on the Aftershock post. I said it's like issue 4 said "Hold my beer" when
Yeah.
when issue 3 came out or something. But it was awesome. Again, Brian Buccellato doing the story, Buccellato, and then Hayden Sherman doing the art. I've loved this art from the beginning. That's Hayden Sherman's art on the cover there.
Yeah, these A covers are fantastic.
It's such detailed like ink work and line work in that, but the colors are kind of super bright, but they kind of like flow together. It's very neat. I've appreciated it from the beginning, and the story is just amazing.
Yeah, and the story picks up from the end of the last issue, and his family is somehow alive. They got blown up on this boat that his partner said, "Oh yeah, you guys go," and his family was blown up, and that was right first thing.
And that's what set him off on his revenge tour, the Chicken Devil Revenge tour.
So now his family's alive, and he's kind of questioning, were my motives really valid here?
Yeah, because he just came back from like wiping out most of the mafia, and he gets home and he finds out they're alive. Mm-hmm. So that was the end of the last issue. So now this issue we lead right into that, and we find out the follow-up from that.
They don't explain how they got off the boat, but they say, "Oh yeah, we got off the boat," and
yeah,
I don't know how long it's been since they died. It was a little while at least, because they spent time away just at a resort or something. It looked like.
Yeah, they went on vacation because they didn't know if they were if the husband was trying to kill him or not. So they come back and they know what's going on now, and then it all gets kind of dealt with, and at the end it gets handled, but not in the way we thought it'd be handled. And I'm not going to say it all because it's amazing. But there's definitely going to be some sequel action going on, I think.
Goodness.
And it's not what I thought it would be.
No.
And it's the ending kind of sums up the whole book. Like the guy gets out of something like all haphazardly, and he should be dead type of thing. And yeah, I love this book. This is my most favorite Aftershock book of all of them.
I've loved it. Each book has been a twist.
It gets better and better than the last.
And you think, how are they going to top this? And they do. Great story.
When I read this
Brian
book,
Buccellato did a fantastic job. The whole team has done a fantastic job with this book.
I hope it gets made into something.
The more I see, like I want to see this stuff play either on screen as an animated or on screen as live action or a show or something. It's a limited series even.
I never thought about animated, but I think it would be awesome like live action because it has kind of like a Ozark, but like
I say animated because I think of like how the gore and stuff would look.
Yeah,
like I think that would look amazing in an animation style.
Let's see.
Not looking exactly the same as they have it in the book, right? Different art style for sure.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And I guess continuing on sort of from...
Is that the end of the books already?
Yeah. Yeah, that's all the stuff.
No, we got Tremors.
You never told me about it. A book called Tremors.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not Tremors, Primals, I mean.
Oh, I did have that. I don't know where it went. Okay, talk about it. I'll see if I have it.
All right. Primals is number 1. It's from AWA. It is...
that's why it didn't work. Wrong file format.
This one here is kind of similar to that earlier one there, the New Masters one, where I said I didn't care for it. But it's kind of similar formalic. But this one I really liked because it was a bunch of action and the story was more engaging. So there it is. What it is you have 2 Mayan kids, 2 brothers who they get into a spaceship. They realize that the Mayan technology is like we always hear about it, that it's very, very advanced, and it's because it's alien. So these 2 boys get into the ship and they go away, and they have like this intergalactic adventure, kind of with like a what's his name? Not Kang, Rama Tut looking type of dude, and they go away for a little while. what they don't realize when they're a little while is that when they come back, it's Earth 2022, and the Mayans are like long gone. So now they're back on Earth, and they didn't know that the Mayans were gone because nobody told them in that. So now they have to deal with all this, and they have some new technology in that with them too. But
There we
great,
are.
great starting off point. Again, being AWA book, it's being geared towards some kind of media afterwards. I loved it. It was very, very good. Whereas the other one, again, was kind of similar, that Primal New Masters, but just even with the action, it just didn't grab me where this one did. So, again, kind of similar, different enough that they're different, but it is amazing how one book can just grab you more than another one. And again, they both had amazing art. It's not like the other one didn't have art to grab you. So this one I quite enjoyed.
So this next one I just pulled because I saw it.
Yeah, I have this book, but
It's not one that I picked up this week, and we're not reviewing it. But I figured it'd be funny for those people that know how much I dislike these type of books.
that's how we do
And
it.
that's Red Sonja from Dynamite.
You don't. This one.
So, however, I don't like Red Sonja. I don't like Dynamite. I don't like their nudie art. This is, I
Awesome.
will say it proudly, this is the first cover I've ever gotten of Red Sonja or any of these sort of more nudie art, pin-up girl styles.
Yeah.
Because that is fucking awesome artwork.
I know.
That painted style, that is awesome. And you said there was a Vampiro one as well.
Yeah.
I might end up picking that one too. I love it. It's a great just art. It's not just stupid naked people with boobs hanging out. That's a perk, but that's not
because of the being Dynamite. There's multiple versions of this cover. So
there is a version. I think it's a 1 in 50 or something.
I'm not sure. And there's a black and white one. I have the black and white one.
Yeah.
Or I ordered that one, I believe. But yeah, it's a beautiful cover. I'm glad you showed that because I know you wouldn't let me.
I mean, you could have reviewed it.
I'll wait till it gets closer to Valentine's Day because it's a Valentine's Day special.
That's true. It is a one-off Valentine's special.
And there's a Vampira one coming out too, and I thought it must be next week. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little early for Valentine's Day.
Well, that's why they have to not sell them both at the same time.
Yeah. So next we've got Peacemaker, and I love this poster. We've had quite a few up here now.
Well, before we approach Peacemaker. We are going to do a little review on Boba Fett afterwards, but Tyler wants to go into details. So for everybody who wants to not be spoiled by details, you have to skip the Boba Fett part. But that's why we're mentioning it to you now, so you have time to do that, and you can watch the Peacemaker part.
I don't know if I even have my spoilers tag anymore.
That's okay. Look,
okay.
We just gave them a verbal one.
Yeah, so Peacemaker, again.
Awesome.
One of our favorite shows. I prefer this show over maybe any other superhero show ever. I do like Superman and Lois. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Season 2 has been really good.
I like this show even for drama wise because I'm watching the new season of Ozark, which is an amazing series.
Everything's Ozark related now.
Well, Ozark is a great series, but this I'm enjoying this even more than that. And
I cannot believe the character development that Peacemaker has had. And this could be a superhero show or any show.
Yeah.
Very rarely does anyone get in the headspace of one character, let alone all these characters in 5 episodes, 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And fantastic.
Also, yeah.
And it's a little more serious, some of it, than what James Gunn normally does.
Mm-hmm.
The comedy's there. It's still hilarious.
Oh, for sure.
But it's so character driven. It's amazing.
We both said the same thing, that this episode was a little bit more, I won't say filler, but it was a little bit more filler compared to the other ones. There wasn't as much like,
it was a build up.
There wasn't as much things released or announced, like you didn't find out big reveals or anything, but still some action in that. Very good. Pardon me. I like the cover, even not the cover, but even the poster for this one. We keep seeing
this one is my favorite poster yet. Reminds me of like an 80s action flick, or like I said, I think it looked like a Expendables poster.
It kind of looks like Grindhouse style because they got the blood on the bomb there, Splatterhouse style.
Yeah.
All right, here comes the spoiler stuff. I don't agree with this part. I think we should wait on it. But.
Well, don't wait on anything else. And
I would say, but without even saying spoilers, that I enjoyed this episode. I'm enjoying all this show. It's been great. Every week I see more and more people saying this is a cowboy show, or this is a western with Star Wars characters in it, and I agree.
This episode even had cowboy hats.
It did. Yeah, it had western showdowns even in that. It took place back in that planet where the Mandalorian met with what's his name there, who had the armor originally.
On Tatooine.
Yeah, I forget his name in real life. I like that dude.
Cobb Vanth. That's the character's name. I don't remember the guy's name.
Yeah, he's awesome. And
lots of people don't realize, but that Cobb Vanth showed up in the Aftermath Star Wars novels, which was bridging the time after Return of the Jedi and
that's what this
the Fall of the Empire.
Well, that's what this is here.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get some returning characters. Again, building up the army of Boba Fett, mostly Mandalorian in here. Some new returning character, or some characters return again from other stuff. I won't go into it because I don't want to say it. It's a good show. It's a good show. I know some people are still not liking it. I know too many people are spoiling stuff nowadays. Like, the show comes out like at 2:00 in the morning, and by 8:00 in the morning, people are like blasting online about it, which I'm seeing more and more like blowback about.
When we were in 204 this week, both Ashley and Bobby had said someone had messaged them spoiling the whole episode by the time they stepped through the door at work.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you do that?
So
I don't know. Maybe I don't know what the context. Maybe they were looking for a first appearance.
Well, probably.
It was a big first appearance.
Yeah. So people are like, but I mean, it's great that people are excited and everything about it. I'm liking it. It's not much to say. But now you can go into your spoiler stuff.
Yeah, well, much like the last episode had done, where it tied the prequels in, and they keep trying to bring more and more stuff back, which is great. Like, just they're embracing what was already there. They're not trying to build all new, all on its own. And I think that's where the sequel trilogy sort of slipped up. This one focuses more on a bit where The Mandalorian left off, but definitely focuses really heavily on pieces of the Clone Wars series and pieces of the original trilogy, given characters that show up in it. And it also ties slightly into the sequel trilogy. And, getting into spoilers part now, we see the return of Ahsoka. We knew that Din Djarin was going to try and find Grogu and wanted to give him his little gift, which I thought was a necklace or something. I didn't think a little chainmail thing. Everyone said it was chainmail, and I guess it makes sense.
It was chainmail, but at first when she handed it over to him, it just it was folded up. I thought it just looked like a plate.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was just gonna wear like a chest plate.
So he goes to find Grogu and ends up seeing Ahsoka. R2, he lands there, and R2 takes him and says, "Okay, wait here. I'm taking a nap."
Yeah. And
during that time, you see these little ant builder droids building Luke's Jedi Academy, the same one that we see destroyed in flashbacks.
They were almost like giant nanotech.
Yeah, they were really neat, and they make it seem like the rock's floating up, like someone's doing it, and then just beep 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 beep, little droid comes down.
It's that's gonna be how they build stuff out space, like real stuff.
Yeah, totally. And then Ahsoka's like, maybe don't do this. He misses you. If you do this, they're gonna interrupt his training.
Set him free. Yeah.
And then such a large portion of the episode actually focuses on Luke and Grogu training.
Yeah,
which that was fantastic. And Luke Skywalker looks a lot better than he did when he showed up at the end of Mandalorian, and there is a reason for that. Everyone was complaining that he looked whatever fake. Yeah, but you can't see. You don't wear glasses.
I can see just fine.
You can't see.
I thought he looked better last time. This time I told you I thought he looked like.
That was the biggest gripe from that episode of Mandalorian. The final episode was Luke Skywalker looked like a claymation doll.
I didn't think that last time.
So
I thought that this time.
What someone had done after that episode is went in and they redid the deepfake, making it look like Mark Hamill was pulled out of a time machine. So Disney hired that YouTuber to do that for this episode, actually for them. Isn't that interesting? They actually hired someone that wasn't already on their payroll to do it. I thought, and for a whole episode too, not just for a little 5-minute conversation.
They just did that so that guy can't make any money off them.
I'm sure he's making pretty good money.
Yeah, he's making money for them. He's
Yeah,
not
he's
making money
working
off
for
of them.
Disney as an animator now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he's making good money.
So he's not making money off the side off them.
Yeah,
We're
but
taking, I know, but whatever.
so yeah, that was interesting, and you well, I won't go into the exact end of the episode, what
Yeah,
happens.
we've talked enough about it.
But then, as I'm sure everyone's seeing, everyone's listing all their Darth Maul books, or everyone's in search of Darth Maul books, and that's because of a first appearance of Cad Bane, another character from the Clone Wars cartoon, and he ended up looking really good for someone as a blue alien in a cartoon. He turned out looking really good and really menacing, and he ends up having a showdown with Cobb Vanth, and
I don't know.
I that was like a dude walking in from town or
Yeah,
walking out from
that was the western part.
yeah. So as a fan of just all stuff Star Wars, this has been one of my favorite episodes. But I do see what some people are saying. This is the book of Boba Fett. It was nice to have a cameo of him in there, and it's funny.
It's just like the Avengers movies nowadays. It's not all Avengers all the time. It bounces around, man. It's whatever. I don't want. We're done talking about this.
The
It's
way they've talked about it is the book of Boba Fett is season 2.5.
Mm.
It's a spin-off, whereas the Mandalorian will always be the main story they're telling.
Cool.
Some other news that popped up just this week, and I originally was going to cover something else, and that was they had a casting for Netflix's He-Man movie.
Yeah. Oh, that. Yeah. Yeah. That whatever. They casted that.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the guy they casted, so I don't really know too much about it. Apparently, he's not a very big guy, but I mean, you can build up fast nowadays. But I mean, again, maybe they're not going to make He-Man Jack anymore. Like, maybe they'll make him more like leaned out hero-wise nowadays. But
Chris Evans or
yeah, whatever.
So yeah, the news I decided to cover instead.
I don't like
came out
this
today.
at all. I don't like Madam Web to begin with.
I was gonna say you don't like Madam Web. You're not
No.
gonna like any of this.
No, at least it's not Madam Web in the wheelchair, because you know how much she freaks me out.
Right. So Dakota Johnson has allegedly been cast. I don't know if it was officially confirmed. It hadn't been at the time, but it was coming out from a lot of really reliable sources that she had been cast as Madam Web. Now, obviously, she's not going to be playing old lady Madam Web. She's going to be playing Julia Carpenter,
yeah.
who is the second Madam Web, the second Spider Woman.
I thought they had that one girl. What's her name there? Cast for that. That other redhead lady. She was an Interstellar.
Oh, yeah.
You know the other redhead. For you. I thought.
Yeah, she's in Jurassic World, and yeah. I forget her name.
Yeah.
She. No, I can't remember. Well, either way, doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting casting. I don't know her from anything other than the 50 Shades franchise.
I've seen her in a few other things. I saw her in. She's in the 5-Year Engagement. She ends up being like the girlfriend to Jason Segel for a little while and stuff. But yeah, I just
feel like this movie is gonna be a passing of torch kind of thing. There's still gonna be the old lady Madam Web, I'm sure, and I think it'll be more like the introduction in the Shazam movie, where you have the old man wizard Shazam,
yeah, probably
passing it on to
her,
the new
yeah.
character.
Yeah,
I don't think she'll start out as Spider-Woman 2. I think maybe she might be.
It'll be an origin. It's a Sony movie.
I think she will be some kind of agent of some sort. Won't be Shield or Hydra or anything, because that doesn't exist. But maybe FBI, CIA, or something, because that's a big part of her story, is that she's a government agent.
I don't remember that part, to be honest. I just remember her being. I never saw her really as Spider or as Madam Web. I only remember her as Julia Carpenter, Spider Woman. So yeah.
So,
but we don't even know if
that's a big character for Spider-Verse, and she's the protector of the web or something, or reader of the web, something like that. Some Spider-Verse malarkey jargon. So yeah, that's interesting, I suppose. Doesn't really excite me too much. I know they have lots of stuff in the works. They did have a Black Cat and Silver Sable movie. Now it's a Black Cat as well as a Silver Sable movie.
I'd rather see either one of those more than this.
I'd rather see Black Cat be with Spider-Man. Silver Sable, she can do her own thing. Would you really want to see Black Cat existing solo? Unless, like the other rumors have sort of alluded to and been speculated about that Marvel's Spider-Man is going to be Tom Holland. Sony's Spider-Man is going to be Andrew Garfield.
Whatever.
So so much is up in the air right now. We don't even know. That's on top of a confirmed Kraven the Hunter movie.
Yeah.
That's all I've got.
No, we both saw that Halo.
Oh right, I don't have
No, we're
a
gonna say
slide for it.
Yeah, I saw that. I've never played a Halo video game in my life, and I saw a preview, or not preview, I guess like a little trailer commercial
Trailer, yeah.
for that Halo TV series that's coming out on Paramount Plus. So I don't know where it'll play in Canada. Maybe
We have
Crave.
Paramount.
Oh yeah, someone else told me it had Paramount.
Yeah, we have Paramount.
Okay, yeah. So it'll be on there, and yeah, it looked really good, that Halo series. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know
does look
nothing
good.
about Halo at all. I know it's army dudes on an alien planet or something. That's all I know about
Yeah,
it.
I
Enhanced army or something. I know there's Chief Master or Master Chief's like the main guy or something. And in there it looks pretty cool. So yeah, I'll check it out.
I have a very ground level knowledge of it. If you ask my brother, he would tell you everything.
What does it
As
the
far
show
as
looks good.
as far as I know, it's a prequel and it covers a lot of the stuff that some of the original Halo novels covered.
Well, yeah,
So
you,
when
you see in the preview it
discovery
shows
of
them
the
turning into Halos or whatever. Like I'm looking for Halo, like looking for the Halo thing, and it shows him becoming like the super soldier. Did you not watch the preview?
Yes, I did, but
Well,
that's flashbacks to an origin. That's
Well, yeah,
not,
that's what I
not the
said.
same.
It's an origin, so it's the
But it's
beginning.
not. This show isn't the origin of Master Chief.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. That's I said. It's a cool preview. I'm gonna check it out. Like, I know nothing about it. I'm still gonna check it out. It look really good.
Yeah, it must have had a pretty good budget.
Oh, it looks like it.
Just like that Lord of the Rings show.
Yeah,
That Lord of the Rings show has an enormous budget.
and that Dune, like that Dune movie that they made, and that Dune show that's coming out, all has huge budget.
Is there a show for Dune as well?
I believe so.
Oh, I still haven't seen Dune.
No, me either. But again, huge show, huge budgets, and it looks pretty cool. And yeah, they're just investing lots of money in these shows, like these streaming services, and it's good to see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about all I've got for this week. I don't know if there's any other stuff you wanted to mention.
No, we had Aaron Bartling's interview last week, and it went up, and I know a lot of people have checked it out, and we've had some good comments on that. Tomorrow we are interviewing Jason Flowers, so that will go up this weekend as well. Nothing else booked at the moment, but I do got a couple of feelers out there and responses that have been positive, so just wait to book those as well. We've been kind of trying to stretch it out. The main thing is that DreamWalker stuff, if you don't mind pulling up the stuff again.
Yep.
Guys, get those. We have very limited copies of those books. Again, only 1,000 copies, and now it's split in half for each cover. So again, I think it's 500 of each. That Natalie Sanders one is amazing. The B cover, I would say just buy both. You know, $28. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna have them up on the, you guys comment on our regular page for now, but by the end of the weekend we'll put it up on the website, and I hope I want to see it sell out by one, because that's we are a business, but at the same time too, I really hope everybody gets a chance to get one, because this will be a hot book. Mikey Sutton does have a lot of connections in the Hollywood community, or the movie community and stuff, not just Hollywood. The Filipino
casting already.
Yeah, they've had
the book hasn't even released, and they're casted the main character.
Well, yeah, that he had that character in mind from the beginning with her, and they wrote it with her in mind, kind of like they do with a lot of stuff nowadays. So, yeah, check it out. Like I said, they do have preview pages on the Second Skin page. But yeah, order it.
I genuinely think that this book, like, it's gonna be good. We know it's gonna be good. We've seen, but if is it a movie they're doing, or is it a show? I know it's some live action media, but I don't know what exactly.
We don't know for sure. Can't say because you don't know.
But I hope that does really well, because anyone that is able to get their hands on this book might have the next Ninja Turtles, like,
or Walking Dead,
or exactly,
or Something's Killing the Children, or something like that, where it's just a smaller run book. Again,
I'm glad we were approached to do this, because this could be potential history.
Well, it was weird that we approached, because I've been following those guys forever, the Mikey Sutton and all that. So even when they started talking about this book, even about a year ago, I was all interested in it. So, and then since then we've reached out to that group about how we are vendors, and they just reached back out to us because we, again, just from communication and supporting each other and that, everything does work out. So yeah, it's been great. Kind of leads us to our motto there, if you want to finish off with our motto there.
I don't remember the exact wording.
I know that's why you always have to bring it up, but I think I remember it pretty well now. It's be appreciative, support everyone, peace out.